Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're watching Young Sheldon. This is the 11th episode of the first season. Hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. If you liked what's today's full episode, it is available for free in the link in the description below. Just click on it, put the password in, and enjoy. Last episode, family's in a predicament. Sheldon's too smart for his school. He's always correcting his teachers. He's way advanced and ahead of his class. You know, the school are like, look, we've been offered a chance to send him to a gifted place. It's far away though. It's literally a couple of hours drive. He's going to have to stay over. Probably, you know, going to be with a family Monday to Thursday. And then a Friday he'll return home. Are you okay with that? Mum and Dad obviously are going back and forth with discussions. Trying to figure out what's best for Sheldon. You know, he's so gifted that he should be in a higher class. However, he's so young. He's so far away. How does he deal with it? Sheldon wanted to go when he was, you know, presented with the opportunity. As he was there, though, he realised that the host, the people that he was with, like, he didn't really like it. He kind of missed his home. You know, George's dad went to get him as well because he realised that his family are also missing Sheldon. And it was kind of like a collective decision that both of them decided that they want to return. However, it is tough in, you know, in those situations that they're going to leave him in the school where he's just going to ace every test. He's going to, you know, easily walk through it and get bored really quickly. Pretty much with the curriculum that they get given. You know, he's way too advanced for it, and you might as well just pass him the year now and let him just move on, technically, isn't it? You know, instead of giving him all these exams and instead of doing all the classes to build up to the exams, you might as well just give Sheldon the exam. Yeah, do you know, do that. Yeah, you passed already in the first week of school, just move on to the next stage of your life. Do you know what I mean? That would be another opportunity, a solution. Instead of sitting there going through the academic year, what's the point? You might as well give him the whole academic year test in one day and just let him boss it and go through it. So, be interesting to see as well what they do with that. Like checking out today's episode. If you do enjoy it, please smash like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, let's jump into today's episode.
Walk down the hallway and come to a wooden chest. Lord Grey Matter, what do you do?
I poke it with my dagger to see if there are any traps. What?
You are Firebeak.
Okay.
So what do you do?
I'm Firebeak. Thanks, Mom.
What are y'all playing? Chutes and ladders?
Tam is teaching us Dungeons and Dragons. On a quest to find the pitchfork of a devil named Balzabul. I'm Firebeak.
My mother didn't believe in elves, fairies, or dragons. But she did believe in the devil.
I'm excited for this preaching because she always used to.
There are incantations in this book to summon actual demons.
How we wound up with you?
And I'm gonna give you that.
This is not a joke. This is one of the children's games we were warned about in church. But our little boy's soul may be at stake.
Come on. When I was a kid, we were listening to Black Sabbath, all that devil music.
Hello, Mr. Sparks?
Oh, hello, Mary.
Got a minute?
Sure, what's up?
I was just concerned about a game that the boys were playing and was wondering if you and your wife knew about it.
Well, what are we talking about? You catch those boys playing grab ass?
No. Dungeons and Dragons.
So everybody's got their trousers up, but nobody's touching nothing, right?
No.
Well, then I don't quite know what you're worried about. On an unrelated note, you doing something new with your hair? It looks real pretty.
You want chicken for dinner? I'll slaughter a big one for you right now. I kill one just to change your mind.
It's me, Mr. Nguyen.
Yes?
Hi, you don't know me. I'm Sheldon's mother.
Ah, the smart boy.
Listen, are you aware that Tam and Sheldon are playing Dungeons and Dragons and it's filled with demons and satanic images?
Em là mới nói chuyện với bạn Mỹ Trắng rồi anh. Anh bận lắm.
Anh nói chuyện với cô ấy, em đang có khách hàng.
Đi mà anh đâu có hỏi em nhiều đâu.
Anh cho ít quá.
So what is the problem with this game? A game boys play with make-believe demons? Not a problem.
Đồng ý với cô ấy, cô sẽ đi thôi.
I agree with you. I will talk to Tam.
Oh, good. Thank you.
The thing is, though, in the context of everything, like, it's literally not an issue, is it? You know what I mean? Like, from what Tam's told about, you know, the story about his family and how they got to this situation, those are real problems. Like, he just kind of portrayed there. Do you know what I mean? Not the fact that three kids are having a good time playing a board game, because that's literally all it is, a board game. And it's make it up as you go. Well, it's not make it up as you go, but the dice make it up as you go. You roll it, it gives you a problem, and then you kind of divert a solution. That's why they can go on forever, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? You approach the door, what do you do? Someone could say, I bash it down. Somebody could say, I climb over it. Someone could say, oh, do you know what I mean? We get a cannon and blow it up. There's loads of different options, and it just takes you different directions. You know what I mean? Like, to be honest, I never really played Dungeons and Dragons, and I never really kind of knew the deal with it and how it was used until kind of seeing a bit on Stranger Things, and then obviously I watched The Big Bang Theory and seen he's playing it, and I understand the concept of it now. It's just literally you move around and you say different things, and the board and the dice give you different situation scenarios, and you kind of create the next step. And I do think it sounds pretty cool, to be honest. And me as a dad, I wouldn't care if my kids was playing it. I actually feel like it creates creativeness. I didn't mean to put them together, but it does. You know what I mean? Because it lets the mind run wild and create all these different kind of situations.
How's things going at the church?
Please call me Jeff. And everything's going great, because I have the coolest boss.
So nice of you to come over, Pastor Jeff.
He prefers Jeff.
I'm sorry to drag you into this, but it is demons, so it's in your purview.
It is indeed. In fact, at a recent Young Baptist Leaders Conference, I attended a seminar on satanic leisure activities. Sheldon needs to start attending Sunday school. If he likes books with demons and devils, I've got one that will blow his mind.
I am concerned that we may get a little pushback from Sheldon.
A little?
Sheldon, I understand you hope to be a scientist someday.
Yes, sir.
Well, let me ask you a question. You say you don't believe in God, but what kind of scientist comes to a conclusion without first doing the research? So I'll see you Sunday morning at 8 o'clock.
No, you won't. I cast a second-level spell of invisibility on myself. I'm studying for Sunday school.
You're reading the Bible? That's wonderful.
Is there anyone in our town from the Amalek tribe?
I don't know. Why?
If there is, we're supposed to kill them.
And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Amen.
Yes, Billy.
I know them.
Thank you, Billy.
You're welcome, Pastor Jeff. Chapter 1, verse 1 states, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." You know, when the Bible says the Word, they're translating the Greek expression logos, and logos means knowledge.
Sounds like someone has a noggin full of logos. Billy.
They live on my block.
He did get in there though, didn't he? Like, that's why he's ended up going to the Sunday school, because he was like, look, mate, you want to be a scientist? Yes, sir. Would a scientist, disregard something without actually doing the research? No. There you go, see you at school. And he actually was like, oh, mate, fuming. He got me. And that's why he's there. But it is true, though. Do you know what I mean? Like, Sheldon's always said he don't believe it, but he's probably never give the time and day to actually go for it and see what he actually truly thinks. You know what I mean? I'm not saying there is or there isn't, but what I'm saying is you can't disregard things unless you don't give it a try. It's like when somebody says, I don't like eating this type of food, and you're like, have you tried it? No, I haven't. Well, how do you know you don't like it then? You know, that's what I've never understood in situations like that as well. So I'd be interested to see at what point he attends this, because we do know later in life he's not a follower. You know what I mean? He's not part of the faith like his mum. But I'd be interested to see at what point he stops. Like, would it be this episode, or do we get a few more before he decides that's it, I've had enough? You know, it's interesting to see. And to be honest, I think Billy's pretty funny as well. I feel like when he was first introduced, it was like he was going to be like a bully or something, or a bad guy, but he's actually not. He's just dead simple and just a kid, and I actually think he is quite funny.
He's reading the Bible.
I know. I'm actually grateful to that Dungeons and Dragons game. It helped lead him to God. You finished it?
All of it. Ask me which birds are kosher.
How about which birds are kosher?
Chickens? Yes. Quail? Yes. Owls? Surprisingly, no. And I've decided to explore other religions, too. Pastor Jeff encouraged me to approach religion scientifically, so it only makes sense to enlarge my database.
No. Your database is Baptist. That's all the data you need.
Buddhist, Jewish, Hindu, Catholic, all of them.
Nope, that's not happening.
Why? As an American, don't I have freedom of religion?
Those Dungeons and Dragons are looking pretty good right now, aren't they?
That's the best way, though. Read them all, decide which one you want to follow.
Catholic, right?
Explain what?
Well, for starters, who do you pray to?
Jesus, God, and Mary.
Jesus isn't God.
No, he's his son. But you do eat him and drink his blood. The Pope lives in Italy. He has a special car and a big pointy hat.
Hutchins, what's your religion?
I'm a Mormon. Why?
I'm conducting a research project. Can you tell me about being a Mormon?
Well, it started in New York when a man found gold plates buried underground. The plate said that when we die, we get to go to our own planet. Unless you're a woman, then you have to go to your husband's planet. That won't be a problem for me. I don't have a husband.
I like watching the Book of Mormon.
You're gonna love Ira. He's a great guy.
Hello.
Howdy.
So Mimo tells me you're Jewish.
Right to it, huh? All right. Let's do this. Please sit up.
Thank you so much for helping out.
Would you care for some hard candy?
Are they kosher?
Who are you, my mother?
What about God?
What about him?
Does he play a part in your life?
Well, historically, he's gotten a kick out of punishing us. Well, we got a lot of celebrities. It was Shatner,
Adam Sandler,
Nimoy.
Kirk and Spock? I want to be Jewish.
Are you planning on living in Texas?
Probably.
Then I strongly advise you to stay Baptist. Medford had no Jews, so there was an opening for one.
And you got it? Good for you.
I love this kid.
Me too.
You know what? I actually have heard that Texas is a pretty mad place to live. Honestly, like, they have, well, every state has different laws in it. So, like, you know, I'm about to just rattle off like 3 states, and they could have the same laws. They could have different. I have no idea. I don't live in the US. I'm just using it for the example basis. But like, say in Texas, for example, somebody could break into your house and you could shoot them and kill them, and that'll be okay. But then if you was in like Arizona and somebody broke into your house and you shot and killed them, then that wouldn't be okay. And then if you went to Vegas and done it, that would be okay again. It's like, I personally think it's strange how one country, yes, it is massive. It is absolutely huge. And like one state is probably the size of the UK. But I think it's mad that you can be in the same country but in a different state and have different laws for different things. It's like you have to have knowledge of all the different things. And like, you know, I kind of see on the news, again, don't quote me, I don't live in the US, but like when it pops up, it seems like it's the Texas is a state where like they proper go for it. So like they're not big fans of like transgender people and like gay people and stuff like that. I could be totally wrong there, but like I feel like that's how it's portrayed on the internet anyway. Do you know what I mean? And you know, the same way you always see them like loving the barbecues and stuff like that. Which it seems to be kind of true, like they're loving the briskets and stuff on here. But I just think it's mad. You know what I mean? Like he was saying there, you know, if you're gonna stay in Texas, I would stay baptized. You know what I mean? Like walk around with a cross, fit in the same as everybody else. It is madness, honestly. But I think religion's pretty mad as well, like in general. Like I always think if you're religious because it makes you feel good in life and it helps you help other people and better people's lives, then that's great. Don't matter what religion you are, you know what I mean? You could be Hindu, you know, Jewish, Christian, Catholic, whatever, it's Muslim. If your life is better and then you also help the community out, then that's fantastic stuff. Do you know what I mean? There's no right and wrong in whatever you choose. However, I do find it mad that like sometimes though people are fully committed to hardcore, like dress a certain way. Do you know what I mean? You can't do this, you can't do that. It's crazy, like proper committing your life to something. I respect it big time. I just couldn't imagine myself doing that because I've not done it before. Do you know what I mean? But like, fair play to everybody who does it. If it makes you a better person, then go for it.
How's it going?
Good. Did you know that Zoroaster believed in 2 gods?
Shelley, I understand you enjoy researching things.
Love it.
Love it.
But it's important to keep in mind that there is only one true God.
Would you be angry with me if I don't pick your religion?
You be a seeker of your own truth. And if the truth turns out to be Satan, I will do battle with him.
This is the first mind kind of thought thing that we've had. We've seen loads of it in the other show, but this is the first one here.
Been waiting for you.
Are you the 10 Commandments?
No. We are one. God is yes and no.
Left and right.
On and off.
Something and nothing.
Positive and negative.
Male and female.
Light and dark. At least one human being should know the reason for everything.
Sheldon? Before the universe began.
Hey, dummy. You're drooling all over your books.
I was about to tell me the secret and you ruined it.
I never heard from 1 and 0 again. Who'd like to go first? Billy.
I'd like to go third.
Alrighty. Who's feeling brave?
I've spent the last week studying what people believe, and I've come to a conclusion.
And what's that?
I'm starting my own religion.
Let's go have a talk with your mom.
The only sin in mathology is being stupid. Today I'd like to talk about prime numbers and why they bring us joy. Hallelujah!
Billy had a strong episode there, didn't he? Honestly, he was in it quite a bit. But, you know, in reality, could anybody not create their own religion? It's like a religion, again, it's just a way of life, isn't it? You know, enjoy it, have a good time. Like I was saying a minute ago, do good for yourself and do good for other people, and preach positivity. You know what I mean? If you're going to create your own, and 100, like if I decided now to create a religion called Young Sheldon, and half of the world decided that what I said they wanted to do, then I would have created a religion. You know what I mean? Like, it's way harder than it is to do than to say, but it's not impossible. You know what I mean? And it's interesting. It only took one episode for him to kind of not get on board with it, and it was all because he was playing Dungeons and Dragons as well. Seems like he's gone through and obviously objectively selected that each religion has its own strengths and weaknesses in his point of view, and you know, he wants to create his own and probably iron out all of the little kinks that he could see in each different one. Again, you know, it probably makes sense as well if you was to choose a religion. It'd be interesting to kind of read and educate yourself on all the different ones and how they preach and their way of lives, and you select the one that best describes and fits with you and then your motives and your, you know, your beliefs. That's what I actually think is pretty good. You know, I also think the religion's the best when somebody, like, you know, follows, you know, just goes through life and then they might have an experience where it's like near death or something serious or something that's made them kind of get back on the feet when they felt they was down, and they found something, and whether it was God or you know, whatever religion that they decided, and that's where they start preaching. That's where I think it's best, when somebody's been down and in the rough and in the dumps and, you know, nearly lost their life, for example, and they've seen the light and they've gone this way and their life feels better now, and now they're following and being positive and great. And that's where religion to me is really good. We've not seen his mum preach it enough, even though every single episode that we've seen in the Big Bang Theory, she was on it. So I'll be excited to see it come back and used a bit more, because I don't mind it. You know, they don't do it in a way where she's trying to force it. She does it in a way where, like, she's like, oh, I wouldn't do that, or I wish you'd done that, or I'd done this, and she's always reverting into situations and context. And I like it personally, but we haven't seen it enough, so it was good in today's episode, and it was interesting to see, obviously, Sheldon read the Bible in, like, one day, and then obviously go to school and was like, right, that's it, I've done enough, you know, it's not for me. Hey, that's going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. You know, we didn't see anything of Georgie in today's episode. I feel like we didn't see much of Missy and Georgie yet, like, in this show, you know. I know that it's obviously about Sheldon, and they're in it in the odd episodes, and you can see the connections that they have with each other, and he is kind of pretty funny, Georgie, when he's in it. Missy's just basically, you know, he's twin and she's in the scenes, like, he has to go to school, so she has to go, he's in bed, she's in the bedroom, he's at the table, she's at the table, do you know what I mean? But, like, she's not really had her own kind of stories or whatever's, and I'm interested to see them obviously progress and get their own, you know, their own lines going, their own stories, and we can kind of get behind the characters and what they're doing. It was interesting, obviously, today's episode, it was about religion, like I said a minute ago. We always see Mary preaching it, and we don't really see it in the show. I mean, it's interesting as well that George doesn't actually follow it as hardcore as his mum does, you know. She's proper all in, and he just seems to be just like a bystander, just letting his wife do as she pleases and what she wants. And not, he doesn't follow it, but, like, he seems like he's the type of dude that just gets on with it because she hardcore loves it, you know what I mean? And it's interesting, obviously, that Sheldon was open to different religions and see how she reacts against it, and it all stemmed from the Dungeons and Dragons, and you can kind of see it looked like it anyway in today's episode was like the first time that Sheldon started playing it, you know what I mean? And we've seen the what's to come from it and how much that he gets into it, and I'd be excited to obviously see him playing it and advancing a little bit more here into this show, and how young creative minds can actually, you know, do things compared to how the adults played it. But that is going to wrap up today's episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please smash like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.